Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's devotion for November 23rd. Today's devotion is titled The Approval of One, and the Bible reading is from 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 to 4. You yourselves know, dear brothers and sisters, that our visit to you was not a failure. You know how badly we had been treated at Philippi just before we came to you, and how much we suffered there. Yet our God gave us the courage to declare his good news to you boldly, in spite of great opposition. So you can see we were not preaching with any deceit or impure motives or trickery. For we speak as messengers approved by God to be entrusted with the good news. Our purpose is to please God, not people. He alone examines the motives of our hearts. When the legendary composer Giuseppe Verdi was young, a hunger for approval drove him toward success. Warren Wiersbe wrote of him, when Verdi produced his first opera in Florence, the composer stood by himself in the shadows and kept his eye on the face of one man in the audience, the great Rossini. It mattered not to Verdi whether the people in the hall were cheering him or jeering him. All he wanted was a smile of approval from the master musician. Whose approval do we seek? A parent's? A boss's? A love interest's? For Paul, there was but one answer. He wrote, "We speak as those approved by God to be entrusted with the gospel." We are not trying to please people, but God who tests our hearts. What does it mean to seek God's approval? At the very least, it involves two things: turning from the desire for the applause of others and allowing his Spirit to make us more like Christ, the one who loved us and gave himself for us. As we yield to his perfect purposes in us and through us, we can anticipate a day when we will experience the smile of his approval, the approval of the one who matters most. Whose approval do you find yourself seeking, and why is their validation so important to you? How could God's approval satisfy even more deeply? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.